Greetings, solar beings. Welcome back. Now we're going to go more in depth with exposing the Pledge of Allegiance. Again, we spoke about the history, where the Pledge of Allegiance came from in part one. And so our second video is I'm going to just simply discuss the definition of a ritual. And just understand that almost everything we do in American society is centered around a ritual. Ritual's definition is of a relating to rites or a ritual, ceremonial, according to religious law, done in accordance with social custom or normal protocol. The established form for a ceremony, specifically the order of words prescribed for a religious ceremony. Another definition for ritual is ritual observance, specifically a system of rites, a ceremonial act or action, an act or series of acts regularly repeated in a set, precise manner. Again, almost everything we do in American society is centered around rituals. And so our Pledge of Allegiance here in the American society is one of those rituals, along with things that we do ritualistic, and I'm going to name just quite a few things so that you guys can get a better concept in regards to when I say we do rituals every day. Rituals are done to mark the beginning of events here in our society. Baby showers are rituals, grand openings, ship launches, funerals, bachelor and bachelorette parties, happy hour, graduation ceremonies, toasting successful negotiations, um, applauses, birthday parties, anniversaries, religious ceremonies, for example, communions, baptisms, bar mitzvahs, confirmations, the making of connections, marriage ceremonies, church services, our national anthem ceremony, even flirting can be considered a ritual. When you awake in the morning, brush your teeth, wash your face, and whatever thing you do in the morning on a everyday, precise manner is and can be considered a ritual. And so we're going to first start off with the definition of pledge. And I'm going to give two definitions, well, three actually. I'll give a definition from our most popular dictionary, which is the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. And we're going to give a definition from the Oxford English Dictionary. And then last but not least, we will be giving a definition of Black's Law Dictionary of the meanings of these words. And Black Law Dictionary is a dictionary that's used most commonly by all legal attorneys in the United States and abroad. And so that will give you a more precise understanding of what the Pledge of Allegiance means in law when we're talking about it in a legal aspect. Pledge. What does it mean to pledge something? A pledge is to promise to give or to cause someone to promise something. That is given out of your Merriam-Webster's dictionary. That's definition. Oxford English definition states that to make someone or yourself formally promise to do something, to swear something to somebody or yourself to do something. All right. The Black's Law Dictionary of meaning of the word pledge is in law. It's used in the law of bailment, a bailment of goods to a creditor as surety for some debt or engagement, a bailment or delivery of goods by a debtor to his creditor to be kept till the debt be discharged. The necessary elements to constitute a contract, one of pledge, are possession of the pledged property must pass from the pledgor to the pledgee, the legal title to the property must remain in the pledgor, and the pledgee must have a lien on the property for the payment of a debt or the performance of an obligation due him by the pledgor or some other person. That's the definition of pledge. Also, last definition was read and described by the Black's Law Dictionary. And the Black's Law Dictionary sometimes gives you a little bit of an example of how the word can be used in legal ease, and that's in the language of lawyers or language of law. Allegiance. Allegiance, the Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition. is the obligation of a feudal vassal to his liege lord. The second definition for that in that same Merriam-Webster's dictionary is the fidelity owned by a subject or citizen to a sovereign or government. The obligation of an alien to the government under which the alien resides. It can be used as a feudal vassal, which is deriving from feudalism, the dominant social system in medieval Europe, in which the nobility held lands from the crown in exchange for military service, and vassals were in turn tenants of the nobles, while the peasants, villeins, or serfs were obliged to live on their lord's land and give him homage, labor, and a share of the produce notionally in exchange for military protection. Liege lord, definition of what that means. So, in case someone doesn't know, it's a feudal superior or sovereign, a vassal or subject. Oxford English Dictionary meaning for the word allegiance is a person's continued support for a political party, religion, or ruler, etc. To switch, transfer, or change. An oath, a vow, a statement. The loyalty of a citizen to his or her government, or of a subject to his or her sovereign. Loyalty or devotion to some person, group, or cause. Black's Law Dictionary meaning is the obligation of fidelity and obedience to the government in consideration for protection that government gives. The citizen or subject owes an absolute and permanent allegiance to his government or sovereign until he becomes a citizen or subject of another government or another sovereign. The alien owes a local and temporary allegiance during periods of his residence. And in Black's Law, it does give you case law, which are laws that have passed through cases within the United States that utilize these terms in order to come to a conclusion in those cases. The word flag in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a usually rectangular piece of fabric of distinctive design that is used as a symbol, as of a nation, as a signaling device, or as decoration. Flag can also mean the tail of some dog, such as a setter or hound, also the long hair fringing a dog's tail, the tail of a deer. It can sometimes be used like a flag or to signal or attract attention. One of the cross strokes of a musical note, less than a quarter note in value. Another definition is something represented by a flag, such as a flagship, an admiral function in his office of command, nationality, especially the nationality of registration of a ship or aircraft. Oxford's English Dictionary meaning is a piece of cloth with a special color design on it that may be the symbol or a particular country or organization, or may have a particular meaning. A flag can be attached to a pole or held in the hand, used to refer to a particular country or organization and its beliefs and values. To swear allegiance to a flag. He was working under the flag of the United Nations, a piece of cloth that is attached to a pole and used as a signal or marker in various sports. Flower that is a type of iris that grows near water. Black's Law Dictionary meaning for the word flag is a national standard on which are certain emblems, arc inside a banner. It is carried by soldiers, ships, etc., and commonly displayed at forts and many other suitable places. In common parlance, the word flag, when used as denoting a signal, does not necessarily mean the actual use of a flag, but by figure of speech, the word is used in the secondary sense and signifies a signal given as with a flag, that is to say, as by waving of the hand for the purpose of communicating information. The flag duty, or the duty of the flag. This was an ancient ceremony in acknowledgement of British sovereignty over the British seas, by which a foreign vessel struck her flag and lowered her topsail on meeting the British flag. The flag of law, or law of flag. In maritime law, this is when this is used, the law of that nation or country whose flag is flown by a particular vessel. The ship owner who sends his vessel into a foreign port gives notice by its flag to all who enter into contracts with the master that he intends the law of that flag to regulate such contracts, and that they must either submit to its operation or not contract with him. So also the flag of the United States in Black's Law Dictionary gives a meaning to that by the act entitled An Act to Establish the Flag of the United States, which was revised statute in 1791 and 1792. It was provided that from and after the 4th of July, next, the flag of the United States be 13 horizontal stripes, alternate red and white, that the Union be 20 stars, white in a blue field, that on the admission of every new state into the Union, one star be added to the union of the flag, and that such addition shall take effect on the 4th day of July, then next succeeding such admission. The United States of America, there was no definition for it in the Merriam Dictionary, neither in the Oxford English Dictionary, but there is in the Black's Law Dictionary a meaning for the word United States, which is this term. It has several meanings, and it may be merely the name of a sovereign occupying the position analogous to that of other sovereigns in family of nations. It may designate territory over which sovereignty of United States extends, or it may be collective name of the states which are united by and under the Constitution. And I'm going to leave you, I'm going to share a quote that I got that I thought was very interesting from Albert J. Nook or Nock. He actually made this comment in the State of the Union. And it states that the idea that the state originated to serve any kind of social purpose is completely unhistorical. It originated in conquest and confiscation, that is to say, in crime. It originated for the purpose of maintaining the division of society into an owning and exploiting class and a propertyless class. That is, for a criminal purpose. No state known to history originated in any other manner or for any other purpose. All right, we're going to go forward into the word state. State, Merriam's Dictionary says, addresses that state means to set by regulation or authority, to express the particulars of, especially in words, report broadly, to express in words. Oxford English Dictionary's meaning for the word state, the mental, emotional, or physical condition that a person or thing is in. A country considered as an organized political community controlled by one government. An organized political community forming part of a country, the government of a country, the formal ceremonies connected with high levels of government or with kings and queens. Black's Law Dictionary meaning for the word state is a people permanently occupying a fixed territory bound together by common law habits and customs into one body politic, exercising through the medium of an organized government, independent sovereignty, and control over all persons and things within its boundaries, capable of making war and peace and of entering into international relations with other communities of the globe. One of the component commonwealths or states of the United States of America, the term is sometimes applied also to governmental agencies authorized by states such as municipal corporations. The people of a state, in their collective capacity, considered as the party wronged by a criminal deed. The public, as in the title of cause, the state versus AB. The section of territory occupied by one of the United States, the circumstances or condition of a being or thing at a given time. Under the United States Code, Title 4, Chapter 1, there is in law written what the United States of America flag represents and kind of give descriptions of what it is to look like, the design. The flag of the United States shall be 13 horizontal stripes, alternate red and white, and the unit of the flag shall be 48 stars, white in blue field. Also, United States Code Title 4 talks about the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag, and it basically gives you what the Pledge of Allegiance is, and then it breaks down what you are to do or expected to do when the Pledge of Allegiance ceremony is going on. So again, that's a conversation about that extends this conversation regarding the ritual that's going on when we actually, or when our children are reciting the Pledge of Allegiance every day. And I just recommend that you all read the complete Title 4 of the United States Code to yourselves. Republic. The Merriam's Dictionary is a government having a chief of state who is not a monarch and who in modern times is usually a president. A political union, such as a nation, having such a form of government. A government in which supreme power resides in a body of citizens entitled to vote and is exercised by elected officials and representatives responsible to them and governing according to law. A usually specified republican government of a political unit. A body of persons freely engaged in a specified activity, its constituent political and territorial unit of the former nations of Czechoslovakia, the USSR, or Yugoslavia. Oxford English Dictionary's meaning of the word republic is a country that is governed by a president and politicians elected by the people and where there is no king or queen. Again, that first definition description was for the word republic, and that was the Merriam-Webster's dictionary meaning. And also now Black's Law Dictionary for the word republic is a commonwealth, that form of government in which the administration of affairs is open to all the citizens. In another sense, it signifies the state, independently of its form of government. To stand. Merriam's definition is a halt for defense or resistance, an often defensive effort of some duration or degree of success. A stop made to give a performance, a town where such a stop is made, an act of stopping or staying in one place, a place or post where one stands, a strongly and aggressively held position, especially on a debatable issue, the place taken by a witness for testifying in court. Can also be rendered or understood as a section of tiered seats for spectators of a sport or spectacle. The occupants of seats, a raised platform as for a speaker or hunter serving as a point of vantage, a small, often open-air substance structure for a small retail business, a site fit for business opportunity. Oxford English Dictionary's meaning for the word stand is to be on your feet, to be in a vertical position, to get up onto your feet from another position, to put something or somebody in a vertical position somewhere, to be in a particular place, to be in a particular condition or situation, to be a particular height, or to be a particular level, amount, height, etc. Black's Law Dictionary, to cease from movement or progress, to pause, remain stationary or inactive. It also can mean to remain as a thing is, to remain in force. Pleadings demurred to and held good are allowed to stand, to appear in court. A nation. A nation's definition, Merriam's Dictionary, is a people or aggregation of men existing in the form of an organized dual society, usually inhabiting a distinct portion of the earth, speaking the same language, using the same customs, possessing historic continuity, and distinguished from other like groups by their actual origin and characteristics and generally, but not necessarily, living under the same government and sovereignty. Besides the element of anatomy or self-government, that is, the independence of the community as a whole from the interference of any foreign power in its affairs or any subjugation to such power, it is further necessary to the constitution of a nation that it should be an organized dual society, that is, both governing its own members by regular laws and defining and protecting their rights and respecting the rights and duties which attach to it as a constituent member of the family of nations. Under. Of course, we understand under means in or into a position below or beneath something, below or short of some quantity, level, limit, in or into a condition of subjugation, subordination, or unconsciousness, down to defeat, ruin, or death, so as to be covered, below or beneath, so as to be overhung, surmounted, covered, protected, or concealed by, a subject to the authority, control, guidance, or instruction of, receiving or undergoing the action or effect, within the group or designation of, having as name or title, less or lower than, as in size, amount, or rank, especially falling short of a standard or the degree required, lying or placed below, beneath, or on the ventral side, often used in combination, lower in rank or authority, subordinate, often used in combination. Your Oxford English Dictionary meaning for the word under means below or beneath, lower in status, subordinate, insufficiently, incompletely. Black's Law Dictionary for the word under, sometimes used in its literal sense of below in position, beneath, but more frequently in its secondary meaning of inferior or subordinate. Indivisible, not visible, is the Merriam-Webster's dictionary meaning for the word indivisible. Oxford English's meaning states that it cannot be divided into separate parts. Black Law's dictionary meaning for indivisible, not susceptible of division or apportionment, inseparable, entire, thus a contract, covenant, consideration, etc. May be divisible or indivisible, separable or entire. Liberty. Merriam's dictionary states that the quality or state of being free, the power to do as one pleases, freedom from physical restraint, freedom from arbitrary or despotic control, the positive enjoyment of various social, political, or economic rights and privileges, the power of choice. Oxford English Dictionary's meanings for liberty is live as you choose without too many restrictions from government or authority, the state of not being a prisoner or a slave, the legal right and freedom to do something, an act or a statement that may offend or annoy someone, especially because it is done without permission or does not show respect. Black Law's Dictionary meaning for that word liberty is freedom, exemption from extraneous control, freedom from all restraints, except such as are justly imposed by law, freedom from restraint under conditions essentially to the equal enjoyment of the same right of others, freedom regulated by law, the absence of arbitrary restraint, not immunity from reasonable regulations and prohibitions imposed in the interests of the community, the power of the will to follow the dictates of its unrestricted choice and to direct the external acts of the individual without constraint, coercion, or control from other persons. The word liberty includes and comprehends all personal rights and their enjoyment. The word justice is the maintenance or administration of what is just, especially by the impartial adjustment of conflicting claims or the assignment of merited awards or punishments. Justice can be also considered as a judge used as a title, the admissions of law. It could also mean especially the establishment or determination of rights according to the rules of law or equity. The quality of being just, impartial, or fair, conformity to truth, fact, or reason, correctness, or righteousness. The quality of conforming to law. Oxford's dictionary for the word justice is the fair treatment of people, the quality of being fair or reasonable, the legal system used to punish people who have committed crimes, a judge in a court. Black's Law Dictionary, in Old English practice, justice means to do justice, to see justice done, to summon one to do justice. In common law, the title given in England to the judges of the King's Bench and the Common Pleas, and in America to the judges of the Supreme Court of the United States and of the appellate courts of many of the states. In feudal law, jurisdiction, it's judicial cognizance of causes or offenses. In high justice, which means it was the jurisdiction or right of trying crimes of every kind, even the highest. This was a privileged claim and exercised by the great lords or barons of the Middle Ages. In jurisprudence, the word justice means the constant and perpetual disposition to render every man his due. In the most extensive sense of the word, justice differs little from virtue, for it includes within itself the whole circle of virtues. Yet the common distinction between them is that which considered positively and in itself is called virtue, then considered relatively and with respect to others has the name of justice. But justice, being in itself a part of virtue, is confined to things simply good or evil and consists of a man's taking such a proportion of them as he ought. So as we can see, the Pledge of Allegiance is very legal. It is a social construct here, and it's also a ritual that is performed by our children every day in schools. We should examine the true essence of the soul ties we all are now subjected to and contracted with solely regarding our recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance daily as children. Please do your research. I give this information as just an open forum for you all to start discussions within your own selves regarding who and what we are here in the United States. I give thanks to you all, solar beings, for your time, and I look forward to sharing with you all later. Peace and delight.